We're just running it with Cam. They're just really starting to hit on our shelf. Super cool. So I just want to get a little history of like how you got into cannabis and, you know, what your journey was, you know, up until, you know, legalization.
I'm going to give you the short round.
That's better. They got a short attention span. So.
I started smoking weed at 13. I was pretty much a nerd in school. I was an applied math major. I got my degree in applied math and biology. I worked a lot of Fortune 500 companies, but during that time, I also grew in 6 lighters, 8 lighters, 12 lighters, all throughout Colorado and Denver. I got into weed because I wasn't really into alcohol. So, and I grew up in New York City. Most of the weed, I'm 47 this year. So back then when I was smoking weed, it was swag, dime bags, what we called brick weed. And once in a while you get ins or hydro, green bud, KB, kind bud.
Guessing we're about the same age. I won't ask the age.
I'm 47. I'm 47 in January,
I'm
so
46,
it's cool. Yeah, so
I smoked the fuck out of some brick weed.
yeah, I did. And I still liked it. I still liked smoking that over alcohol. But every once in a while, you'd get this primo weed, and I was like, I want to learn how to, you know. Then you would read through High Times. So I was very into the cultivation aspect of building out small grow rooms. What was really cool about that time that I'd like to get back to with the culture here, and there's still some people that are in it, is that if you were growing, you had a couple of friends that were growing, and there was so much exchange of information. Fast forward to 2009 in Colorado, there's a couple shops opening up. They were giving out some licenses. The taxes were just at 7%. It was really a great time to start a cannabis business. I was working at Accenture at the time as a software consultant. Left that job, still working a year in, starting my business. Started Cam just opened up my 401k, took out all the credit card debt you could possibly think of, really put all my life savings on the line and started out. So it's been a pretty wild journey.
I love that. I think the people and I'm in the same boat, that have just bet it all essentially.
Yeah,
like
bet it all.
We're not going away.
No.
Like we're going to stay in it. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, I think there's something to that. Instead of going out, raising money, pushing paper, when you bet all your money and you're actually trying to build something, then, you know, I think that just keeps people committed. Let me ask you this. So, like, I think one of the super cool things about Cam is, and it's not just unique to Cam, but I think you guys have it as good as anybody. You know, we try our best to keep that culture too, which is like, you have your kind of Cam family going on. It seems like everybody's super dedicated to the Cam mission or the Cam realm or whatever you want to call it, Cam Nation. How do you think you were able to like get that sort of buy-in? Because not every company has that. You know, where like a lot of the reps that are just passing through or just trying to get a paycheck or whatever, but like everybody I've met on your team, everybody that we interface with, like they're all in on Cam. You're going to look up in 4 or 5 years, they're still going to be working for Cam. So how do you think you were able to like get, you know, the kind of buy-in, the team, you know, family vibe? Because I think it's super important. Because we're working on less to try and make it do more, to get that buy-in. You know, how were you able to, you think, like, do you have a secret, or I don't know if secret's the right word, or just an approach to that you were able to make that happen?
I think that you have to look at it, you know, everyone's looking for this exponential growth, but as a leader, you need to eat last. So whenever there is a small win and there's something, you know, a great quarter or whatever, you make sure that you take that and you do it too. And I see you doing it with the capital events, and I do it too, which is just to kind of give back, make people feel seen, really create these roles, make sure you're hiring folks that maybe they're a driver one day, but then they're going to end up being the VP of marketing another, so that there's like succession plan. And then when you bring in new folks, they see, wow, this guy started here 3 years ago and now he's doing this. I mean, for me, there's nothing more exciting than somebody that's been with me for a couple of years and they're buying a house, you know, and I was like, oh, I had some small part to do in that to help those people get there. And I think that if you have that old school kind of mentality of creating a family, or even, I mean, a family is sometimes more difficult because that's unconditional love. I wouldn't say I'm all the way on unconditional love. I would more so go with like a sports team, which is everybody's got to work together, everyone play your position. I love sports. You know, I love. You
I
know,
use the same amount.
yeah, so yeah. Play your position, and then sometimes if you're not doing that great, you got to sit out. You got to sit on the bench. You got to take some time out, but being able to give people that time out too. I think that a lot of times we have folks that are going 110% every single day. You're going to have some dips where they have some family stuff. That's when you as a company can come in and say, hey, this is some of my day ones, or they've been with me for a long time. I'm going to support them through it. Or finding folks that maybe they're great at the job that they have. Maybe they've moved up into a role that they can't scale into. Find a way to reestablish that person's, feeling valued, feeling seen. So I think that by doing that and tying that into having really good product, consistent product that people can actually say, because I go to grows all the time. People are like, I don't smoke my own weed that I help grow. And I mean, that's kind of shocking to me. So you want to make sure that you have a product that your staff and that your team is actually saying, hey, I'm representing
believe
this.
in it, so they
Yeah,
can sell it.
and so for me, my name goes out on every 8th. I'm hoping that every person that's part of CAM feels kind of the same way.